Hello everyone, welcome to another Sleepy Time reading. My name is Mariam and I'm an intuitive reader. I'm doing readings while I'm feeling sleepy. I have three objects and I would like you to choose one that you're drawn to and you can hear a message from the universe. Okay, object number one. It's a horse chess piece. Object number two. It's a sun metal ball. Object number three. A ceramic owl. Pause if you have to and take your time. Now the first object, horse chess piece. So this is what I see. You're on top of this beautiful hill. It's just gorgeous. The landscape is amazing, and there is a really beautiful little lake with lots of flowers, lots of purple and red flowers. They're just beautiful, and this is such an inviting space, and you just want to sit down and enjoy the view, and the view obviously on top of this hill, amazing, it's breathtaking, and everything just feels so calm and so lovely that you just don't want to move. And it seems that you need to move down this hill. You need to climb down this hill or roll down this hill, but you're really drawn to this beautiful scene. So you sit down and just look at the beautiful lake. It's just a tiny little lake, and you're looking at the flowers, and soon you know, as soon as the flowers start drying up, it's time. It's time to move forward. It's time to go. It's time to let go and move forward. So you're ready to go down the hill, and as soon as you step on this slope, you just ride all the way down, and obviously creating a lot of dust, and everything is happening in such speed, and it's exciting. It's really exciting. It actually feels quite surprising and a little shocking how fast you can go down the hill. Then you end up in this amazing field full of flowers, very similar to the little flowers that you had by the lake, but this is just so many of them in such abundance. You're basically just swimming in them, and it's very exciting. It's really exciting, and it just feels like endless blessings. You're about to take a very big step into a new phase in your life. This hill also shows a place of achievement, somewhere that you have maybe worked hard to get to, and it's beautiful, and you really can't let go. Maybe you're not ready to leave, and maybe there's still a little bit of time. There's a little bit of time maybe to say goodbye. It feels a little scary, and maybe you're trying to procrastinate in different ways, so you have a little time to detach, a little time to just count your blessings, acknowledge them, and be grateful for them. You're going to see signs that it's time to go. Certain things may start disappearing, or maybe the endings are showing themselves to you. The time is up in a way, or the phase is over. It's time to move forward. So you might see this in different ways. It's gentle. It's nothing pushy, but you can actually realize it's time to move forward. And when you step into this path, moving down the hill transition, which is happening, it's a bit scary, it kind of feels a bit steep, and it might be a step that requires a little bit of, I don't know, not necessarily courage, but you kind of have to push yourself forward. It's so fast, and obviously you make a lot of dust, so I think people see you coming. I think you create a lot of stir, or you actually attract a lot of attention. You make an entrance. So it could be a new job, a new position, a new field, because you're entering a field of flowers as well. So it could be that you're just entering a whole new field of work, and you're just going to see so much blessing. So from the top of the hill, from what you saw earlier, from those little flowers, now there's abundance of them. So whatever it was in your previous phase that was really keeping you excited and grateful, now there's just so much of that. And yes, it's a very expansive, and it's a very abundant phase. Enjoy it. And yeah, just recognize when it's time to move forward. Object number 2. It makes a good sound, this bowl. I see that you are in this very confusing place. Everything is moving around very fast. Imagine that you're inside a tornado. A very annoying fair ride. Everything is moving around so quickly, and you're feeling sick. You're nauseous, and you can't keep yourself together, and you're falling on the floor, on your knees, and you're vomiting. You're purging. It's so uncomfortable, just painful, and the dizziness is really horrible. It's like, imagine that somebody's been partying really, really hard, and they get to the point of just vomiting everything, or just having too much of everything that the body cannot handle. It's a bit like that. It's the vertigo. It's like everything is too much. It's the overwhelm. And then once you open your eyes, it seems that you vomit and you're a bit unconscious, and then you open your eyes and you, as if you're seeing all that you vomited. You're just basically looking at the mess, and it's disgusting, especially the things that you've been vomiting. They're really disgusting things. It seems that you've been eating bugs or just really horrible creatures, or it's a bit terrifying, I have to say, just seeing everything that has been purged. And you just want to move out of there, and you're looking at the space you're in. It feels like a real kind of claustrophobic place, and there is no air. There's absolutely no air. You can't move, and you're just running for the door. You open the door, and you just feel this breath of fresh air, and it's just so nice. You go down this corridor, and then you're outside. And you can see it's dark, and you can see the moonlight. You can see the moon in the sky. And it feels like a really fresh evening. You see a waterfall, and then you wash yourself in this waterfall. You take your clothes off, you're fully naked, you wash yourself, and this water is just so fresh and so cleansing. And you're feeling completely refreshed, completely renewed. And you just start floating up in the air, and you're flying towards the moon. You go, and as if you're just swimming in the moon, as if you're bathing in the moon, and you come down to earth, and you're covered in this shimmering light, as if you have moon dust all over you. In a way, you're covered in sparkles or diamonds. It's really beautiful. And then you got your arms open, and you're shining, and you're just so full of life. And it's a beautiful, beautiful journey. It's a beautiful image. So the beginning of it is obviously this unpleasant purging, and just this feeling of the dizziness. But it's an end to a phase of a destructive phase. These bugs represent like horrible things that we keep inside. It could be poison of any kind. It could also show an unhealthy lifestyle. Also, it could be poisonous emotions or thoughts and feelings. Everything that is destructive, an end to a poisonous phase. And it comes with realization, and just realizing enough is enough, and deciding that I'm taking a whole new step. I'm taking a step into sobriety, into like walking towards health, and you want to cleanse yourself from all that is impure. And this could mean a lifestyle change as well as environmental change, because you're in the space of quite it's claustrophobic, it's kind of very limiting and very dark. From that to a beautiful openness, and the cleansing water and fresh air. So it's renewal. renewal and rejuvenation. So this phase could be anything toxic. It could be a toxic lifestyle, too much partying and using too many substances, or it could just show a poisonous environment, which could be relating to a relationship, or like the poisonous work environment or family environment, anything that is unhealthy, as if your body cannot take it anymore. Or maybe this is a situation that is making you physically sick. So when we get to the point of overwhelm and having too much of something, it's a sign to understand our boundaries and realizing that I've had enough. It's time to move forward and move towards, take healthier steps. And by this cleansing, it's like you commit to purifying yourself and lightening yourself. And as soon as you're washing that, all of that residue of all that old energy, all that stale energy and all that poison, when you wash that all away, you can fly to the moon. And moon is a representation of I feel it's connected to emotions, it's connected to femininity, to mysteries, in a way inviting you to embrace your own mysteries, embrace your own inner beauty and feminine energy. We all have feminine energy, and it's connecting more to that feminine aspect of ourselves. And as you're naked, this is also showing, again, to take all the masks off, all the layers that is holding your true self kind of imprisoned. You're releasing your true self, and you're allowing yourself to shine. And by uniting with the moon, and you know, it's nighttime as well, and I would say the reason it's the nighttime is also, again, pointing towards those dark emotions and dark parts of ourselves. And maybe it's time to unite with all our darkness and all the mysteries that we hold, all the unknown within us. That, of course, it's the moon, and I think it basically could point towards the transformation that is happening around this a very specific moon phase. So in brief, it's a journey of transformation. So you're stepping into a new version of yourself, opening up your true self and shining your light to the world without fear, without holding yourself back. And yeah, wish you all the best in this beautiful transformation. Object number 3, the ceramic owl. So you're covering this surface with mud, and you're doing it so meticulously, doing it with different tools. So you're trying it with like a mallet, you tried with that, and you're doing it so perfectly. It's a spreading on such an even surface, it's so perfect, and then there is a little bit of a scratch on one end, and you're so disappointed. So you take the whole thing, which is this big chunk of mud, and you start with the whole fresh bed of mud. You spread it this time maybe with another tool, and same thing happens, and you're disappointed. And again, you remove that and you start again with more mud. You keep doing this, and every time you're using a different tool, but you're trying to achieve the same thing, this perfection, this level of perfection, and it never gets there. And suddenly it gets to the point that you realize that you have no room to move, there is no way you could continue your work, and there is no room to move because you're surrounded by all this mud. You're basically buried in this mud. You're no longer able to breathe. It's suffocating you. And help comes. You can hear there are people out there. They're digging you out, and they pull you out of this mud hole, and they wash you. They're washing you with this pressure washer, just getting all the mud off you, and you're just so exhausted from all of that, and you're just lying down and you're cocooning yourself, you're covering yourself with this piece of like fabric, you're like a blanket, but it really feels like a cocoon that you wrap yourself around this cocoon, and you're resting until you're ready. And you're incubating in a way under this blanket. You're underneath, you're growing, you're transforming, you're being very still, but there's so much movement going on, there's a lot of changes happening under this cocoon, inside this cocoon. And when you're ready to get up, you have this huge pair of wings, and they're amazing. If you're still growing the feathers, there are these massive wings. You open them up, and there's still feathers growing on them. And then you're ready to fly, and you find yourself on top of this. You actually realize you're on top of this beautiful mountain. You fly off, and you're using this giant paintbrush, and you're painting the mountain. And you're using the same color, it's the same bluey color, and you're painting this mountain, and you're flying around the mountain, and you're loving it more than anything. You're just enjoying it. You're having so much fun, and you're being very free, and you're flying towards the horizon, and your wings are spreading these rays of just light, color and light, and they're just painting all the landscape. It looks like a big forest, and you're covering it all with beautiful colors. It's a beautiful, beautiful transformation. So there is a bit of perfectionism going on, and oh my god, I sometimes suffer from that myself. It's very overwhelming to be in that mindset of being perfectionist and wanting to achieve this level of perfection, which it just seems that it's unrealistic, because time and time again you're failing. So this perfection, it could be somebody, it could relate to someone who's an artist, or it doesn't have to be art. It could be anything. It could be whatever your field is. There is this level of that you're very meticulous about the details, and there's certain things that you want to turn out a certain way, and you're trying to do everything perfectly, and if anything is out of line, the tiniest bit of imperfection is disappointing you and you're very hard on yourself, and just very extreme self-criticism that whatever you do, you try to find something wrong, and you maybe just overanalyze yourself. Your analytic mind is maybe really giving you hell. You just can't be ever happy with what you're achieving. It feels like you feel like you're not achieving anything, and it seems that you're feeling as if you're failing all the time, which obviously you're putting yourself in that situation. It doesn't have to be that way, but you're kind of setting yourself to lose, or trying to self-sabotage, or in a way just very unkind. You're very unkind to yourself. But it gets to the point that you can no longer move forward like that. You can't have that attitude with yourself anymore. It gets to the point that you really need help. So this help could be that you're finally reaching out and asking for help from people around you. Maybe you were so proud that you never really wanted to, or never felt comfortable asking for help, and maybe finally you're able to reach out, or maybe you have no choice but to ask for help. This reaching out could be in many forms. This could also be in a form of therapy. It might be that you finally accept that I need help. I need someone to help me. Or it could just be just reaching out to community, reaching out to family, to friends, and asking their help when you really feel like I can't. And the help is there whenever you need it. Whenever you're overwhelmed, whenever you're stuck, you can always reach out. You don't have to always put it on yourself to figure everything out, to do everything all the time and be responsible for absolutely everything. We may be too close to a situation, or you might not be able to have clarity about the situation. So yeah, you're opening up to help from others, and you're basically pushed towards that. You're forced to do that. And sometimes if we're not going a certain way that we should, the universe kind of gathers and kicks us towards a direction, and everything kind of lines up. It might feel overwhelming or horrible, but it's nudging you towards the right direction. And once that happens, once you're actually need to ask for help, then there is this whole phase of rest, because obviously you've been putting yourself through so much. You've been putting yourself through hell by forcing that level of perfectionism, or just pressure in your personal life or at work, and you're so exhausted that you need to rest, but also you need to transform. You're becoming a new version of yourself. This is metamorphosis happening, and for that to happen, you need to become still. You need to be incubating. You need to go in a cocoon. So from outside, it might seem like you're complete period of inaction, but that means that you're allowing your inner world to change, and the whole alchemy is happening, and you're transforming into a whole new creature, a creature with huge wings, a pair of huge wings that can fly, and there is a sense of freedom. You're no longer carrying all those burdens that you've been carrying before, all the ways that you thought that things had to be done or that the life had to be lived. You're letting go of that and you're embracing the flow, the freedom to move, the freedom to choose, and just going with the flow of life and being experimental and playful. And the fact that you're painting on the mountain, it just shows that you're just using the shape of the mountain instead of trying to shape everything into your will. You're just going with what's there and collaborating with the world and universe. And it's just bringing you joy. And you're spreading your light and colors everywhere you go and shining your light to the world. It's beautiful. And it comes with pain. It comes with a bit of pain, but it's necessary. Otherwise, we get stuck. We're stuck in our old ways, and that's not why we're here. We're here to constantly transform and expand and experience and become more. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the sleepy time reading, and I see you next time. Lots of love.